育ち盛りの身にたい焼き一匹とはいかにも深刻な需要不足なのよさ。
We are back, and it feels good. Oh, even and welcome, my name is Yuusha Anime, and welcome back to Grisaia no Kajitsu, all the food Grisaia, and it is finally time to return to this, and I've been meaning to do it for so long. University's been griping up on me, and I've also ended up getting into a bit of a bad habit of streaming more than I should have, so apologies about that. But anyway, I should be a bit better now. Hopefully after the next few days I should be able to get more on a healthy upload schedule before I go back to the UK. But anyway, that's enough of this. Let's get into the game, shall we? After that hell of a freaking interview of all of the girls. Well, interrogation actually. You can be sure. Let's go, Makina. I think a single pastry is more than enough of a snack. Unless you want Amane bawling you out when you can't eat her dinner. Yeah. In the first place, I'm not too enthusiastic about the whole snacking concept. Eating outside your scheduled meal times throws off your body's rhythms and can contribute to deterioration in overall physical condition. True. If at all possible, I'd like to teach the girl not to indulge herself except as an occasional reward. Also, if you eat too many of those things, that round little face of yours is going to end up getting even more circular. Oh no, we're in the denial stages already. Uh-oh. I reach out and pinch Makina's puffy little cheeks between my fingers. Her skin's smooth but sticks tenaciously to my fingers, almost like an infant's. You can tell just from squeezing her face that the girl's properly nourished. No doubt that thanks to Amane's thorough nutritional management. Oh yeah. Well, the girl's not a fighter pilot or anything, so I suppose putting on a few extra pounds wouldn't pose any real problems. True. Her cheeks still pinched between my fingers, Makina mumbles some variety of questions. I tilt my head in puzzlement. Something about a 22 gauge riot? I don't think that was it, Chief. Never heard of a crowd control shotgun with such a strange barrel size. Some new Western Probably. Brazil probably wants it. Oh. What, a diet? Ah, well, there's no need to force yourself to lose weight unless it's posing some inconvenience or health risk. True. Oh yeah? You're all flat because you haven't developed your abdominal muscles. Want to try some simple training with me starting tomorrow? Yes. Ah, I thought my friend would see me. He didn't see me. God dang. And wait, when did you get this, Sachi? Danna-sama, oh my. Holding a bamboo broom at one side, Sachi bows reverently. Master. Oh. Of course, you took it literally. Oh, we're still doing that, are we? I don't think this is how you're supposed to use it, Sachi. You two sure get along. Oh no. Sachi and Makina have always been friendly, of course. But for some reason, something seems a little off today. Can't quite put my thumb in it, but Sachi seemed oddly tentative, almost. They're squawking and messing around like always, but somehow Sachi's treating Makina a little more gingerly than usual. It feels a little artificial somehow, like I'm watching a play. Well, hasn't she always done that though with acting out as a maid? Hasn't she? Oh no. Oh. Oh, come on. She's even speaking like an ugly bastard. Wait, let me hear that line again. Hold on.
サッチはええ子じゃ話をしとればすぐ済むけ天井のシミば数えちょればええ
天井? Tenjo? I don't think that's quite England myself, but...
ええじゃろ綺麗なベベも着せちゃる学校にも通わせちゃるグヘヘのヘ
What the hell just happened? That's fair enough, old man. That's far enough. Well, I figured I needed to stage an intervention before you did something you'd live to regret. And you, Sachi, how about fighting back a little? Look, your underwear's off. And that sounds like what she would say right after the scene as well. Oh dear. 見えてないよ。見てない。全然恥ずかしくないです。本当です。嘘じゃないです。全く気にしていません。sure, Chief. ご希望がございましたら、日を改めてじっくりとご鑑賞いただける時間をご用意いたしますが。What do you mean by this private viewing? This either sounds like it's an actual invitation or it sounds like a murder. Thanks to the offer, but I think I'll have to pass. Yeah, I'm passing on this one, Chief. Same as it ever was, huh? Was it just my imagination after all? Or so I thought, but now it's Michiru's turn. ほら、Makina. あんたが読みたがってた漫画貸してあげる。They're being kinder to her. 悪いね、デドリヒ。誰がデドリヒよ。おかしく言いながら読んでベタベタにすんじゃないわよ。ありがとう。大丈夫。すぐ読んじゃうから。Good as her word, Makina drops herself right down into the lobby sofa and begins flipping through the manga, swinging her slippers loosely back and forth from the tips of her toes. Michiru, calm down. Goddamn flies, leave me alone. When you need something. 私はあんたの娘に漫画を貸してあげたんだよ。なんか言うことあるんじゃないの? You want praise? You want praise? So they're basically just trying to get close to me, okay. Sure, thanks. ちょっと、ありがとうってそんだけ? ありがとう. What else do you want me to do? Yeah. 別に、あんたが私の頭撫でたかったら、撫でてもいいんだからね。What? Okay, so you want me to head pat you? What? I'm sorry, but you're not Sachi. I can't head pat you. 勘違いしないでよね。別にあんたに撫でてもらおうと思って漫画用意したわけじゃないんだからね。Don't quite follow the logic there, but I think I get the general idea. Just casually German suplexes Michiru. When I casually reach out toward Michiru's head, the girl twitches like a startled rabbit and quickly takes a defensive posture. What the hell was that noise? What kind of incoherent thought process leads you to ask for a pat on the head? Then try to ward it off? Yeah. Oh, ignoring Michiru's tense body language, I grab hold of her cranium like an NBA player seizing a ball, then proceed to roughly scratch my fingers through her hair. Appreciate it, Michiru. Just like, head pat, get out of here. That's how I do head pats from now on. I literally just head pat the screen. Next person. It's not like this is the first time Michiru's acted strangely. But once again, I felt something slightly off about her behaviour this evening. And it's not just Sachi and Michiru. Awane and Sakaki. Yep, it's because of that meeting they had. Normally, Sakaki excused herself post-haste the instant Makina's in the vicinity, but for some reason she's staying put today. Sakaki, my friend, why are you here? I love how he casually just says my friend. It's brilliant. It just reminds me, it's like when I'm playing down the era reincarnation, I was like, Kotori, my friend. Aoi, my friend. It's like the most sarcastic way to say it, is to get away from something or to question somebody in the most politely rude way possible. It's beautiful. No, not really, but normally, Yetfully wants Makina arrives. それに、Sakaki shoots Makina a glance out the corner of her eye. The girl sitting quietly on the sofa, knees folded in front of her, restlessly moving her eyes right and left across Michiru's manga.
本を読んでいる間はイリスさんも無害だし。
Uh-oh. That was fast.
ね、チルチル、これの続きは
She didn't even realize she was gone. Michiru's not around anymore. I gave her a little pat on the head, after which she squeaked bye-bye and ran off at a sprint for some reason. Probably back in the room, I guess.
もう読み足りないのよさ。たい焼きしかり、漫画しかり。今日は何かと不足しがちな日だね。
Oh, wow, Makina, Jesus
仕
Christ.
方がないわね。だったらこれでも読みなさい。
Oh, is it going to be a difficult one?
お、何？また BL？
Wait, hold up a minute. Are you telling me Sakaki has BL? Oh!
またって何よ。私だっていつも BL を読んでいるわけでは。
She just admitted it. And by the way, that little tsundere attitude right there deserves a tsundere bell.
じゃああれか？主人公のパッとしない女の子が不自然なまでにイケメンにモテまくるやつ？
Reverse arms.
そうよ。今日はそっち系よ。嫌なら読まなくてもいいのよ。
ああ、読む。ボンプが口開けて待ってるだけでイケメンが寄ってくる怪奇小説読まして。
Most harem mangas. Most of them, whether it's male or female. But sometimes the way that they do them is interesting, like The World God Only Knows. I love that one. I really love The World God Only Knows. I have a big bias for it.
その口ぶりには釈然としないものがあるけれど。まあいいわ。読ませてあげるから静かにするのよ。
Hey, Sakaki, tell me something.
何かしら。
Yeah. What is this BL? Oh, right, of course you would know what that is. Oh, Yuji, you're in for a shock. Oh, no.
それは
ボイスラブだよ。ボイスラブ。ぼ。
うるさいわね。読書中は静かにしなさい。
I still have the bell, mind you. You need to be the one that's careful right now, otherwise it will ding for you. Once again, huh? Wait, what'd I do this time?
BL2 はあれよ。男の子同士で爽やかにイチャイチャする本のことなのよさ。
Pretty much. Ho ho.
説明しなくてもいいのよ。
ユミちゃんはいっつも面白い本を読んでるのよ。この前借りた犬の本とか面白かったのよさ。
In all fairness, some BLs aren't actually that bad. Some of them aren't that bad. Some of them are actually trash. But some of them are actually not bad, like Sekaiichi Hatsukoi. I like that one. It's quite funny as well. As well as Love Stage. Love Stage was good. I like that one. A dog book? Like a photo collection of puppies or something? Nope. He was a boy. The boy was a dog.
犬が主人公の小説なのよさ。
The dog's point of view?
犬の視点でお話が書かれてて、軍用犬としてわざと植えさせられて育てられた犬のお話なのね。
To stimulate his survival instincts.
最後はちょっと感動するのよ。
Oh. Huh. Like Makina says, Sakeki's taste in literature is more broad than you might think. Even now, I'm still surprised by the stuff I find peeking through her leftovers. But at any rate, they do say military dogs have to be constantly starving for something. Can't be relied on otherwise. Ooh. 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 Interesting. Okay. It's the same for the soldiers, right? Oh.
ちょっと本のネタバレはマナー違反よ。
True, it's banned to spoil the book.
そうか。ごめんよ。
本名よ。
あなたはそっちでおとなしく本でも読んでいなさい。まったく。
I'm a little surprised.
何が？
Seeing you have a halfway normal conversation with Makina.
私だっていつもいじられているばかりというわけではないわ。
I mean, that appears to be like 85% of your conversations,
そ
though.
れにあなたが思っているほど私はイリスさんを嫌っているわけじゃないのよ。
Oh, I see. That was very honest.
苦手だというのは否定はしないけれど。
Sounds complicated. Yeah, sounds complicated. Now, the last one is Amane. Seriously, though, what is going on here? I have the distinct feeling every last one of our classmates are being strangely kind to Makina today. They want to get brownie points to get to Yuusha. Oh dear, oh my, they want to be my family. Oh boy. I think loads of people are trying to suggest this to be the last route as well, apparently.
もうお腹いっぱいなのよさ。
Oh yeah? You really gobbled that down. Did you even chew before you swallowed?
つーかマキナ、あんたまだ残ってるじゃないのよ。ちゃんと全部食べなさいよ。
もうお腹いっぱいなのよさ。見ろ、このお腹を。
Oh.
うわ、ぽっこり。
だろう、これ以上食べたらタヌキフェチにモテモテになっちゃうのよさ。
Oh no. Makina casually joins the body positivity movement. Oh no.
もう仕方がないな。ユージが完食させるからだよ。
True. Yeah, my bad.
まあいいわよ。マキナ、あんたはお風呂入ってきなさい。
うんしゃ、パパ一緒に入ろう。頭洗って。
Eh?
あんた、女湯にユージを連れ込む気？食器片付けるの終わったら後で
She
私が
wants
洗ってあ
her
げるから。
papa to wash
あ
her
んたは
hair.
先に行ってなさい。
She wants daddy. I seriously just... You can quote me on that. Just go ahead. Just... She wants daddy. God damn it.
アヒル以外のおもちゃ持ち込んじゃダメよ。
She has a toy duck. Yeah,
た
cute.
く、こんなに残してもったいない。
Olio. With a single remorseful sigh, Amane begins to tidy up the tableware in a vaguely motherly manner. Every few seconds, she absentmindedly grabs a little of Makina's leftover food and tosses it in her mouth. Now I get it.
何が？
That oversized body of yours, Makina's leftovers are clearly to blame.
あれ、私食べてた？
Completely unconscious, huh? No wonder you ended up that way.
ああ、いや、私ってさ、食べ物を残すのってどうしても許せなくて。
Aha. I know that feeling. I had a nickname in my house as the human dustbin, so I know. Nothing to be ashamed of, but given it, you sure let Makina off the hook awfully easily today. Awfully easy. Well, normally, Amane would be force the girl to finish her food, even if it meant enduring hours of begging and whining. Yeah, that was what I was told. If you have enough room to eat a snack before dinner, then you better eat everything. It's what my mum always said. For some reason, every last one of you people seem to have gone soft on Makina today. Did something happen while we weren't around?
不器用な子が多いからな。何かあったってわけじゃないんだけど、まああったのかな。あんたとマキナがそういう関係になったってことで、今日の放課後に賛成か否かってみんなで話し合ったのよ。
Right. Ah, so that's why you all vanished so abruptly.
まあね。
Mm-hmm.
で、話し合いの結果はおおむね賛成ってことで、みんなで生ぬるく見守ることが決まったのよ。
Right. That more or less part bothers me a little, but everyone approved?
こういうことに慣れてない子たちばっかりだからね。どう対処していいのかわからないってのが正直なところなんじゃないかな。とりあえず邪魔してやろうって考えているような子はいないよ。
No kidding. Something to be grateful for. Oh
ユージ
yeah.
はさ、マキナのために頑張るって決めたんでしょ。だったら誰も邪魔なんかしないよ。
I see.
男が一旦こうと決めたなら、簡単に投げ出すんじゃないぞ。わかった？
Yeah, we're taking up the job. We're gonna do it. I'll bear that in mind. With that, the conversation ceases, and I simply watch Amane from behind as she quietly cleans the dishes. From far away, there's the piercing sound of a siren. Instantly, beads of cold sweat form on my brow. With an odd sense of detachment, I find myself reflecting on my newfound devotion to something other than the national interest. A dog raised for his country tried to accomplish something of its own free will. Hard to imagine that can amount to anything much. But I suppose it has to be the more meaningful than getting some cheap medal pinned on your collar. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh. That just told me a bit about his job then. Okay, so he's got a very negative view of militant jobs ever since he was started doing it, so he doesn't view it as anything of noteworthy achievement. Okay. For some reason, the burning wave of nausea seems to recede a little more easily than usual. Alright, next day. Let's go. 6:45 in the morning. Time for the jog. In all the things, the fundamentals are what matters most. Followed closely by experience, also my master used to tell me. When the shit really hits the fan and you're lying face down in the mud, about ready to give up, your fundamental physical strength and mental toughness you've gained on the battlefield are what allow you to pull yourself up again and keep struggling forward. I guess her way of thinking must have rubbed off on me at some point. At the time, I absolutely hated that brutal exercise routine she imposed on me, but now I feel downright uneasy if I miss even a single day. Oh. Oh, hello, Sachi. Hearing a vaguely dopey cry of distress from behind, I slow down to a halt and look back down the road. Hello, Sachi, how are you? Sachi's jogging sluggishly toward me with one arm around Makina's shoulder, practically dragging the girl along. But what's going on? In between gaps of breath, the maid morsely mumbles, although we're 3 laps behind. Meanwhile, Makina collapses to her knees, hands and knees, whimpering pitifully. Damn. Clutching her twitching stomach and moaning like an out-of-tune trombone, Makina stares up at me with eyes full of bitter reproach. But she's the one who declared a war on blubber and demanded to tag along with my running from now on. Don't see how she has anyone else but herself to blame. Yeah, she wanted to do a 2-hour jog and she's already failed. Yeah, you feel sick doing that immediately. Was it? As someone who runs a full 16 kilometers every single morning, 5 seemed like a pretty generous concession on my part. Oh, man. Hell, the routine was even tougher back at my old school. We'd all get drummed out of bed at 6 in the morning and gather in front of the dorm for roll call, followed by a sprint to the warehouse to receive a 3.5 kilogram weight, which we would proceed to lug around for the duration of a mandatory 16-kilometer run. Yeah, my goodness, that sounds like torture. And when eager to ditch our aggravating burdens, we finally caught sight of the exercise ground designated as our goal. The relief would often only last for a moment. When the squad leader was in a bad mood, he'd instantly bellow out, "Right face!" and to send us running back to the dorm, still carrying the damn weights. More often than not, there'd be another right face waiting for us when we got there. On top of all that, every time he randomly blew a shrill whistle, we were expected to break into an all-out sprint, so it's near impossible to pace ourselves. Yikes. On the other hand, I guess that's not really a reasonable standard of comparison. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. It's nothing. You're right. Let's focus on getting you two able to run a single decent lap around the school. It's only 3.2 kilometers or so. Yeah, that's reasonable. Sorry, Makina, you're gonna have to give up on one part, sadly. Well, I'd have a hard time calling Amane perfect in terms of body fat percentage, but whatever. Do you know what, Yuji actually got a point though. For starters, how about wearing some vaguely appropriate clothing? You should have at least thrown on sneakers and a sweatshirt or something. True. Doesn't mean you dress sloppily. Even so, casual clothes and boots aren't exercise gear. On top of which, you haven't shined those boots lately, have you? I should be able to see my face in those things. If this was my old school, you'd be doing 200 push-ups right about now. Jesus.
それはボロい方がかっこいいってあまねさんが言ってましたので、わざと磨いていないんですよ。
What the hell was she liking? Not that you're any better. Still in a maid uniform as always.
はい、
True.
これは運動用のメイド服です。
I want Tomboy Sachi back. I want Tomboy Sachi back.
速乾性に優れた特許技術、ウルトラドライマックス素材でできていて、気化熱の作用によって体温の上昇を素早く緩和してくれるのです。
Oh.
コンセプトは裸より涼しいだそうです。
Really? Tell me something, Sachi. Just how many different maid uniforms do you own? She probably has like 10.
そうですね。通常用のインターメディエイト、運動用のアクティブ、夏季略装のトロピカル、冬季寒冷地仕様のヘビーゾーンに。
She actually did say intermediate. Damn, that was a pun right there. That was a
医療従事用の白い
stupid
メイド
pun.
服のメディック、冠婚葬祭および慰霊式典参加用のコンサバティブの計7種類があります。
Okay. Wait, what was that? Counter-insurgency?
はい。
Conservative.
何でも強化アラミド繊維で縫製されているそうで、試したことはありませんが、
Right.
9ミリ程度の銃弾なら苦もなく受け止める上に、
Wait, what?
かねてより
Seriously?
弱点として指摘されていた鋭利な刃物による一つにも対応した新素材を採用したそうですよ。
Oh. What kind of a battle maid would need a uniform like that? I mean, where did you even buy that thing? Good question. Sounds like something out of Black
私が
Lagoon.
特注で作らせたのよさ。
Oh. Why?
いえ、最初はネット通販でメイド服を買おうとしてたんですけれど、
Right.
1万円で売られているものもあれば18万円もするものもあって、お値段がピンキリでして。
Right.
でね、どれ買えばいいかわかんねえっつうから、迷った時はいっちゃいいの買っときゃいいんじゃねってことでね。
Not always the best Makina, but nice try.
最初はユミちゃんちの出入り業者に頼んだんだけど、そのなんつうの、
榊さんの家の家政婦さんがメイド服ではなくて喫茶店のウェイトレスさんの服のようなものを採用されていまして、
Okay.
業者の方もメイド服は作ったことがないとおっしゃられまして、
Oh, okay. And so he only buys them after they're made.
私
Okay.
の家の知り合いのアパレル業者にオーダーで一
Manufacture
式
them.
作ってもらったのよさ。
Nice try, Makina.
ところがその発注した業者というのがフライトジャケットや腕時計なんかを作って軍に納入している業者でして、
So all of a sudden you end up with a bunch of mil-spec made uniforms, huh?
そういうことなのよさ。アサルト装備にはバイオテロにも対応可能なガスマスクもセットになってて、とってもお得なのよ。
So wait, you're telling me that Sachi has a freaking gas mask as well? Jesus. And when is she going to use that exactly?
コンタミネーションレベル8以上の大気汚染度の高いおトイレなどを掃除するときに大活躍します。
Exceeded level 8. She just has an automatic scale, and that scale is the smell. A gas mask, eh? I remember getting drilled on putting those things on quickly back at my old school. What type of biochemical attacks were happening where you was at, Yuji? Guess it was back in middle school when they started that. I remember constantly putting on M40 over my face and being forced to run a marathon with it on. Ugh. Pretty rough even by their standards. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to breathe out that very well either. Even after returning to Japan, I trained numerous times with a Model 4 protective mask. Oh. Usually this involved rushing into a tent full of insecticide fumes. And they're pretty damn poisonous as well. They're pretty damn poisonous. The instructor would bellow, "Situation gas," as we fumbled in to get the masks out of our waist patches and onto our face in 8 seconds or less. Not the most exciting training, but simple skills like that can easily make the difference between life and death in the field. True. after ejecting the gas inside the mask and confirming an airtight seal, we'd pair off with our buddy and make sure theirs was really on properly. At this point, it's kind of a fond memory.
甚だ失礼かとは存じますが、一つ立ち入った質問をしてもよろしいでしょうか。
I mean, yeah, sure you can, Sachi. What do you want to know?
風見さんが以前在籍していらした学校とは一体どのような学校なのでしょうか。
Oh.
それは私も前々から気になってたのよさ。
Oh, I don't think we're going to say anything about it, though. What kind of place? Just a kind of a tricky question, but let's see. I put a hand on my chin and considered the matter, turning my eyes away from Sachi's curious gaze. I was what they called a self-supporting student. I was already working at a middle school age, but since I was still in the compulsory education period, my employer was kind enough to send me to school at night. You're being so careful with your words there, Yuji. Oh my god. That employer I mentioned was an international enterprise with its headquarters in the States, so naturally the school they paid for me to attend was American as well. I spent the first half of junior high in San Diego, California. Then for the latter half I moved to Quantico, Virginia. When they finally decided to ship me back to the Japanese branch, I ended up getting transferred to yet another school over here. Jesus! Hell of a transition, actually. Nothing at all like how things were in America. I wonder if there's anybody else that we'll meet that Yuji will know that nobody else here knows. Because I know there's like the melody of Grisaia, the afterglow, and Eden of Grisaia. Less of a pain in the arse in that people weren't inviting me to barbecues every weekend, but you could really see the difference in how seriously the students approached it.
具体的にはどのように違ったのでしょうか。
Not easy to explain, but maybe this will give you the general idea. In America, the whole point was training us to be useful in the field, where Japan was all about training us to pass the tests. Basically, in Japan, the inspections were the only thing anybody cared about. Kengetsu. There's something like a test. If it wasn't on the test, they really didn't give a damn. They'd give us a little hands-on experience, but rarely bothered to explain what we were supposed to be learning. At worst, they taught us outright nonsense. About the only thing America and Japan had in common were the crew cuts and the shitty food.
それは何と言いますか。お勤めご苦労様です。
Yeah, I think she sussed out we're like some type of soldier. Well, it's not like I was actually in the service or anything.
でも普通の学校じゃないよね。
Well, of course not. I've been feeling a little unsure about our point of reference in that area for a while now. Mind if I ask you two something as well? Oh, he's deflecting it.
どうぞ。
Okay, but it's going to be clever, right? Is this Mihama Academy of ours a normal school? Ooh, it's not. Then again, his isn't either.
なんて答えにくいことを聞くんだよ、パパ。
But it's a good way to knock it off the question. Clever one. Well, if the question seems awkward, I guess that the answer was clear enough.
こういった表現が正しいのかどうかは分かりませんが、私たちが普通に通えている時点でもう普通からは大きく逸脱しているような気もします。
Well, compared to the other ones, yeah, I can imagine
そ
that.
もそも普通の子は入学してこないのよさ。
Gavin, I need to stop yawning. So you're actually aware of you're not normal, huh? I've been lacking in sleep again. So
そ
sorry.
れに私が普通の子じゃないからパパはパパになってくれたんでしょ。
True. Guess you might be right about that. It's largely because of Makina's overwhelming "this kid's hopeless" aura that I developed my initial interest in her. The more we talked, the more I realized just how badly she needed someone to set her straight. And in time, her sheer cheerful obliviousness inspired an uneasy variety of protective feelings. What's this girl going to do without me around? Didn't exactly have myself down as the nurturing type. But then again, you could be imagining it like, your master saw you? Couldn't you, Yuji? But maybe the way I've heard defending the nation beaten into my bones is part of the reason I felt the need to protect this carefree, egg-headed creature. At least give her the benefit of being human. But that doesn't mean you can't just sit back and rely on me. True safety is only possible through accurate situational awareness, moderate caution, and readiness to defend yourself when push comes to a shove. Sure, plenty of people sit back and take the protection of others for granted. Easy enough to become a spectator of your own life, throwing tomatoes and booing when things go wrong. But we're going to take a different approach. While protecting you, I'll shape you into a woman with the skill and confidence to solve even the most difficult problems on your own. Damn! No whining. If you want to call yourself my daughter, then you're going to become the best of the best. Damn, we're going to train her to be a badass daughter then. Whew. Bear in mind that your failure is my shame. Do I make myself clear? If you understand, then respond. Ninja! Ninja! Back to Ranger. Alright then, let's start with 30 sit-ups. Ninja Komine. You're Ranger Irisu's buddy, his sister. After spreading out a mat on the ground, Makina plunks herself down on her back and bends her knees. Sachi quickly kneels down to hold her ankles steady. Her eyes burning with determination, the girl links her hands behind her head and attempts her first sit-up, but... She sounds like a dying cat. Despite several seconds of intense effort, she only succeeds in wriggling around on the ground impotently. Eventually, the girl releases her head and reaches both trembling arms straight out towards Sachi. But this too proves ineffective at getting her upper body off the ground. Oh, damn. What's all this then? Were my instructions unclear? I didn't tell you to practice your telekinesis, did I? Let's see a damn setup already. Show me what you got! Casually breaks spine. Yeah, she did say bugot. Don't really care about that, but Makina, you can't even manage a single sit-up? Guess I shouldn't be surprised, but seriously? Sad and a little bit true. Dang it. That really how it is? In that case, let's have you show us how it's done, Makina. Switch places with Sachi. Oui. Franz Gorga. After a little more squirming around, Makina pushes herself off the ground and switches places with Sachi. How about 30 for starters? Shout from the pit of your stomach on the way up. Helps focus on your body on working the abdominal muscles. Ooh. Oh. Such a piece of sit-ups with a remarkably regular rhythm of a wind-up toy. It'd be insulting to even compare this effort to Makina's, but even more general standards, it's quite the respectable pace for a young woman. Keep this up for about 300 reps and she'll be right up there with your average WAC God damn. So she'll be pretty damn tough. But my admiration proves short-lived. After passing 20, Sachi's pace begins to slow precipitously. She's at 22, come on. What's wrong? Run out of the momentum already? Some maid you are. Is that all your devotion to your master amounts to? Don't disillusion me. Show some guts, damn it, guts. As my abuse rains down from above. Sachi bites her lower lip fiercely. Suck chap. Bitch chap. What did she mean by this? You're a Jap, you said. Oh, she got so angry she tried to pull a race thing and then it was like, oh, by the way, you're the same race as me. Sorry. Sorry, Chief. Tree. Okay, that does it. Go have Amane give you a nice hard punch on the double. Is this girl under the impression that the term bitch means something along the lines of sex and cool? No, I don't. If she is, poor soul. Alright, not exactly earning your salary, but a respectable effort. At the very least, it's fairly better than a certain doughy little pastry face managed. Why are you laughing? You do understand I'm talking about you, right? I knew that most of our students were indoor types, but to be honest, I hadn't imagined things would be quite this awful. I mean, I can manage a good few sit-ups myself. I can manage probably 40. Not that I'm planning to start running my mouth about how soft kids are these days, especially considering I'm still in that category myself, but...
マキちゃんの場合、入院生活が長かったこともありますし、まずは人並みの体力を取り戻すところから始めるのがよろしいかと。
Okay, that could explain a part of it. You have a point. In that case, I guess strengthening the cardiovascular system comes first.
おう、任せろ。こう見えてもハートが強いってよく言われるのよさ。
Really? I think they're probably just trying to find a nice way to say completely brazen, but whatever. Well, anyway, let's go with some light cardio. No reason to stress those flimsy little joints, so I'm thinking biking would be the best choice. Of course, I don't plan to have the girls push herself between two desks and pedal the empty air, so we're going to need an appropriate bike.
自転車でしたら私が持ってますよ。
Oh yeah? Is it small enough for Makina to use as well?
はい、ミニベロと呼ばれる小径車なので、
Okay.
マキちゃんでも大丈夫かと。
Wait, mini velo? Are you sure it's not like an
折
electric
りたた
bike?
みもできて、とっても可愛らしい自転車なので。
Oh,
Makina
okay, that's what it is. Yeah, they're very handy there.
あれな、メイド服にセットでついてきたやつな。
Wait, you got one as a set? A maid uniform and bike set?
はい。なんでもパラシュート降下時に胸の前に爆体で固定して使用するそうで、
What type of battle maid do they think you
敵
are?
地での偵察任務において抜群の機動力を発揮することができるとの触れ込みです。
Okay, is this designer a little off in the head or something? Just what kind of hellish environments are these maids supposed to be working in? I don't know, but I don't know whether they're supposed to be Western or Eastern, but either way they say I'm badass.
風見さんは前時代的です。メイドが給仕だけしていればいい時代はとっくに終わったんですよ。
I remember one of my favorite maids in anime was, I think her name was Maria in Black Lagoon. You might remember that infamous scene of a guy having his nuts stabbed by the, yeah, it hurts remembering that scene. Jeez. Stabbing a guy in his nutsack with a knife that was hidden in her shoe once she pressed a switch. She was awesome. I'm pretty sure her name was Maria. If I've got it wrong, please correct me. As far as I knew, we hadn't yet reached the age in which maids are expected to suppress insurgents or perform solo recon missions behind enemy lines. Did something happen to Japan while I was away? Oh, whatever. In any case, Makina, let's get you started on some aerobic exercise with a bike.
自転車乗ったことない。
She doesn't even know how to ride one. Oh no. Say what?
だから
I can't ride one very well, but I can ride one at
自
least.
転車に乗ったことないのよさ。運転手さんいたし、車があったから乗る必要とかなかったし、誰も乗り方教えてくれなかったしな。
I see. So it's really like we're gonna be like a father and teach her how to ride a bike. It's extremely easy to forget when you're looking at this stumpy little dough face, but come to think of it, Makina's technically a little miss. Technically, yes. She's like 15 or something? 15, 16? I can't remember. Not really that surprising. I think somebody mentioned their age in one of the previous videos, so I remember it was written there. Surprising that she wasn't biking around all over the place. Guess we'll have to start with teaching you to ride, then. As I massaged the corners of my eyes, Makina thrust her right hand into the air.
気長に行こうぜ。
Yeah, there's not exactly any other choice.
自転車に乗れるようになったら、次はパラシュート効果ですね。
No. Somehow I don't think she'll be on needing that particular skill. Yeah, I don't see her jumping out of a plane anytime soon somehow. I may become Makina's father, but that doesn't mean much of anything has changed. The one notable difference is that she's now calling me Papa. A little embarrassing on the receiving end, but that's nothing new. Oni-chan just felt just as ticklish. Yeah, I can imagine that. That same afternoon, JB gave me a call on my cell. It was a very brief conversation. Just told me she had delivered all the materials she could on Irisu Makina to the Academy administration. In other words, if you want to know that badly, go ask Chizuru. Accordingly, I'm currently making my way to the principal's office. The sparkling floor of the hallway seems to have been thoroughly waxed recently, as every step of the producers allowed squeak. Hey, a Montag on a Nightingale floor, perhaps? What a reprehensible woman. Chizuru, you in here?
ちょっと愛人のアパートじゃないんだから自分の部屋みたいに堂々と入ってこないでくれる？ノックをしなさいと何度言えば。
What difference does it make? Hurry up and take a shower. I'll be... Alright, going on with the girlfriend subject. Alright, then what's the difference? Get in the shower, I'll be waiting.
あのね
Just a joke. You already know why I'm here, right?
そうやって大人の女をおもちゃにしているといつか罰が当たるわよ。
True. Am I? Well, feel free to elaborate on this theory next time I take you out for to dinner.
食事に誘う気なんてないくせに。
This is why Chizuru likes him. Oh dear. It was an indirect way of saying I don't want to hear it. Too subtle for you?
本当に嫌な子ね。
JB got in touch, didn't she? Let me see the documents about Makina.
嫌です。
That won't do. How can I get you to show them to me?
あなたの私に対するこれまでの雑な扱いを謝罪して今後はちゃんと先生の言うことを聞きますって言うなら見せてあげます。
That's an abuse of authority, Chizuru.
そうですとも職権でも何でも乱用しますよ。私だっていい加減頭にきてるんですからね。
I see. Ends justify the means, eh? In that case, I guess I'll have to use every card I've got as well. That alright with you? Uh-oh.
何をする気？
Uh-oh. My master once beat a certain technique into me. A method guaranteed to make even the most stubborn woman spill her guts. Oh. Oh, I want to see this. It's a lengthy process and frankly something of a pain to execute, but it seems I have no choice.
ちょっと待って。はい。質問です。
質問ですか? Go ahead.
それはエロスと何か関係が？
Eros. Tricky question. Interpretations tend to vary fairly widely depending on personal proclivities. True. Come to think of it, back in the old days, I once made JB apologize to me in tears using the method in question. She's never mentioned it?
確かあの子が甘い声を出しながら無茶なお願いをしてきたら走って逃げろとだけ言われた覚えが。
Is Yuuchi about to go full fuckboy mode? Please. Might be a little odd to say this myself, but that would probably be wise. If you're going to run, kick off those shoes first. With heels like those, I'll catch you quickly. It won't even be any fun.
痛いことしないわよね。
The children was fast, but Big Bird was faster. Come on, do I look like such a cruel man? If anything, in a few hours, you'll have a pleasant new perspective on the whole concept of pain. Nothing to worry. We're gonna convert Chizuru, I see. Oh, I'm in.
背筋を這い上がるような不安しか感じられないのはなぜかしら。
For what reason do I have this weird feeling of dread creeping up my spine? Oh, on that note, Chizuru, I've got some good news for you. For a limited time only, we happen to be offering a special sale. Fork over Makina's dossier and all your worries will disappear. Pretty nice deal, right?
わかったわよ。
Oh, I
見
kind
せ
of
れ
wanted
ばい
to
いんでし
see
ょ
it.
見せれば。今用意するから少し待ってなさい。
I wanted to see. I wanted to see what that was. Yeah, my sincere gratitude for your
資
time.
料といっても大したものはないわよ。イリスさんの家は暗い部分が多くて、私だってハルデラさんに依頼してやっと手に入った情報なんだから。
Oh, okay. So not a lot of people know it in general. As she speaks, Chizuru presses her thumb against a fingerprint scanner and unlocks a small safe installed in her cabinet.
政界の暗部に深く根付いてる家だけに、ハルデラさんのところでも限られた情報しか得られなかったみたいね。はい。これで全部。持ち出しは禁止だから、今ここで読んでいって。
Okay. The A4 size envelope she hands me has the words "Removal strictly forbidden" scratched across the front in red pen. Oh damn. I'm not looking for intelligence on the Irisu, you know. I'm only interested in information on the individual Irisu Makina.
イリス・マキナを知るということは、イリス家を知るということよ。
Clan!
何せ8年前のイリス家のお家騒動の中核にいたのが彼女なのだから。
Was she held was it a ransom case? Domestic feud?
私も詳しくは知らないし、その資料にも概要程度しか記されてはいないけれど、当時の当主と イリスさんのお父様の間で意見の対立があったそうよ。
Okay. Well, I suppose that's worth reading.
あなた本気なの？
Hmm?
イリスさんのこと。
Yeah, what do you mean?
イリスさんの父親になるなんて随分と気楽に引き受けたみたいだけれど、あなたが思っているほど単純じゃないわよ。
I've already taken up the job, I have no choice. Yeah, I think I'm starting to understand that. I've got a vague feeling it's going to be a more troublesome job than I expected. Even so, if Makina needs me, I want to do what I can for her.
後悔するかもしれないわよ。
Oh, I'm aware. But when and where it seems necessary, I take action first and swear the pros and cons later. That's how dogs like us are trained. If you find someone who needs help in a place you're obligated to protect, just do what needs to be done. Simple as that.
無駄に力強いのはアメリカ仕込み？
Hmm? How rude. I don't remember declaring I am justice incarnate.
あんまりサムおじさんを怒らせない方がいいわよ。親会社なんでしょ。
Oh, I hear that corporations where employees don't badmouth the higher-ups tend to go bankrupt in no time.
ああ言えばこういう。本
Yeah,
当
he
に
does.
口の減らない子ね。
It'd be interesting to see when he actually has that moment. I picked up my sharp tongue from the Americans.
まあいいわ。コーヒー入れてきてあげるからゆっくり読みなさい。
Okay, appreciate it. Ooh. Just as Chizu warned me, the documents inside the envelope can't be called detailed by any stretch of the imagination. The reports mainly focus on the history of the Idisu family, tracing their consistently flourishing enterprises from the pre-war era to today, describing their clan structure and naming the houses considered their closest allies. In particular, the careful analysis of the current major players' thought processes and religious ideologies with an eye toward the risk they might pose to society stands out as just the sort of meticulous work I'd expect from JB. Since the woman hates relying on personal impressions or speculation in her reports, it feels as though less reliable rumours have been intentionally omitted. While the information that's here appears to be solid, I can't deny that there isn't very much of it. The directly relevant material begins with a biography of Makina's father, a former bureaucrat in the Ministry of Finance. Apparently he was something of a social climber, joining the family by marrying the daughter of a superior. Ooh, that must have went down like a shit sandwich at first. Makina's own father likewise married into the family and took their name, but the real power in the Irisu clan was in the hands of his wife and mother-in-law. And those women, essentially the shadow leaders of the Irisu enterprises, made use of their enormous influence to enrich their family through arrangements tinted an extremely dark shade of grey. Damn. When Makina's father realised that he'd been an unwitting participant in large-scale corruption, he took the Irisu's secret account book and tried to come into contact with Naito, but
事件に巻き込まれて死亡した。
an arranged staged death. Finishing the sentence as my voice trails off, Chizuru reaches out to offer me a steaming mug of coffee.
その事件というのがイリス正隆氏の娘
There we go.
イリス
Kidnapping.
マキナの誘拐事件というわけ。
I see. Accepting the mug from Chizuru, I continue flipping through the documents. A group of criminals who kidnapped Makina off the street on her way back from a language class submitted a ransom demand directly to her father. Just as they instructed, the Masakata head to a designated spot alone with the money, but was shot to death as he made the handoff.
使用された弾丸は未登録の9ミリ拳銃から発射されたもので、事件発生から8年経った今でも犯人につながる有効な手がかりは得られていない。
Because the best way to identify a gun that's been fired from a barrel is by the shavings on the bullet. And unfortunately, with the unregistered guns, they might not have those shavings. Therefore, there is no unique ballistic fingerprint to link it to a weapon, since the inside of the gun could also be shaved and filed down, meaning there'll be no fingerprint. It's the same as somebody having the tips of their fingertips burnt off completely, so then they lose their entire fingerprint. It's basically the same thing with the engravings that a bullet would leave on the inside of a barrel. If that is the same one, or if it's just unregistered, then it's impossible to link it back unless the information holder's already got that info and they can tell just by looking at it. Following the murder, Irisu Makina was eventually rescued from the scene after spending 6 days there?
そういうこと。 犯人グループに拘束されたまま放置されたエリスさんは6日もの間父親の亡骸と同じ部屋に監禁された結果、救出された時には体力的に限界を迎えていたのはもちろんのこと、精神的にもすっかり失調していたそうよ。
I mean, with her dead father in front of her? So that's why she was hospitalized.
今のイリスさんに見られる言動の異常はその事件が原因だったと言われているわ。入院前のイリスさんはそれこそ神童と呼ばれるほどの天才児だったという話ね。
Wow.
それが事件後は言葉も話せないような状態が2年も続いたそうで、
So that's why she speaks with the weird, her shabiri kata is very
イ
weird.
エス
Okay,
か
the
ノ
way
ー
she
か
speaks
答え
is
られる
weird.
ようになるのにさらに1年、自分の考えを言葉にできるようになるまで2年。
Whenever I try and think of like speaking pattern, I instantly think of the Japanese, which is shabiri kata. I don't know why, it's just a bad habit. Apologies.
人間らしい感情が戻るのに1年。今のように話せるようになったのもここ数年のことのようね。
So she was very young when that happened, like maybe 8 years old, maybe 8, 9 years old when she saw her father killed in front of her. Jesus, Anne was left to die and was only able to speak recently? God damn. I see. Shutting a manila folder, I slip it back into the envelope and return it to Chizuru.
もういいの？
Yeah, I've got the general idea. No need to keep going.
もう見たくない？
What's that supposed to mean?
イリスさんの過去はあなたの過去にも通じる部分があるでしょ。
Oh.
だから辛い過去を思い出すんじゃないかって。ごめんなさい。
Oh, hold on. Is that the reason you were so reluctant to show me this?
そうね。できればそういう過去はあまり思い出してほしくはないわね。
So she was doing it out of concern. Denying the past doesn't change who you are today. And thanks to my master, I'm still standing.
ごめんね。変なこと聞くけど、生きていてよかったってそう思えることがあなたにはあるかしら。
Oh, that question just sent a freaking tingle down my spine. Ooh. Well, I've got myself through plenty of situations where death might have been the easier choice. Guess I've been trained well enough to measure survival for its own sake. Also, I still haven't found the reason I was born, and I haven't even begun to repay the kindness of the woman who saved my life. So in that sense too, I'm glad I haven't ended up dead yet. Sorry for asking the unreasonable. I drained the coffee Chizuru brewed for me to the dregs in a single cup. Then place the empty cup on her desk. Kind of a shame though, you went out of your way to show me the dossier, but there was only one piece of information in the whole thing beyond what I'd already expected.
その情報って？
What's that? I'm a little surprised that Makina has a little sister. Makina has a little sister. I was positive that girl was an only child. Yeah, she has a sister?
妹さんといっても父親が違うらしいし、姉妹的な感覚はあまりないのかもしれないわね。
Different father? Was she conceived later on? Or was she... It's a little sister, right? So it's after Makina was born. So could have been when... Oh no. Oh no, was it because of the father and the way he was married in that it caused... Okay, I have a theory. Hear me out on this theory. It's a long shot though. Little sister, born before Makina. Makina being a genius gets traumatized. What do they do next? They just get another dad, another new perfect prodigy girl to fill in the family shoes since the mothers are in charge. That's what that feels like to me. Is this girl, this little sister, is supposed to be Makina's replacement. That's the only way I can think about it just by reading this. Well, before that, the idea of Makina as a big sister just seems wrong somehow. Okay, that's cute. After thanking the principal for the information and her a coffee, I promptly leave the office. As I stroll slowly down the hallway toward our classroom, I reconsider the intelligence once more. In the end, the information directly concerning Makina herself accounted for maybe a 15th of the total at best. In childhood, she was apparently so talented as to earn the label of prodigy. Damn, tensei. Hard to believe when looking at the airheaded doofus we know today. When you give the matter careful thought, some faint remnants of that brilliance have been evidenced every once in a while. Hence her militant knowledge as well. So she just naturally knows some of that. Just deep down in her conscience. From a very young age, Makina was raised reverently as a child genius, but most of her family was only really interested in converting that talent into hard cash. Same story everywhere you look, I guess. In a house filled with people who viewed her as nothing more than a tool, Makina's one and only true ally was her father. Because he had no actual family raising in the business. Right, okay, I get it. Irisu Masataka was an up-and-coming future elite who'd earned superb grades at a top-flight national university, but unfortunately happened to suffer from a distinctly timid and unambitious personality. And ever since meeting Makina's mother in his high school days, she had apparently exercised an absolutely dominating influence over him. Oh no. Given how faint of heart the man was by nature, it was easy to imagine how anguished and torn he must have been when he discovered his family's deep involvement in large-scale corruption. Dang. In the end, he must have decided to live honestly for Makina's sake, and even if it meant betraying the rest of his new family. But that was a mistake. Far too many important people would have found themselves in a seriously disadvantageous position if the Irisu clan's records were to be made public. And if they have the right links. Yep, most likely for-profit kidnapping was a ruse devised by his own family, using his daughter as bait only to kill him in front of her eyes. A clueless bystander in all this, Makina was left tied up in a prison for 6 days with her father's rotten corpse. Hardly surprising that her mind would be deeply damaged. So that means that they were intending for Makina to die as well. Think about it, if they were hired by the same company, if Makina saw the death of her own father, and she was to blurt out about it, then of course, oh wow, so they went after that means the owners, the mothers, wanted to kill their own daughter, as well as their husband. Yikes! Yikes! Well, it's surprising that her mind would be deeply damaged. Yeah, don't blame it. Don't blame her. I can't speculate on why they chose to sacrifice the main family's eldest daughter, but after the instant Makina was removed from her natural position as the future leader of the clan. Which is why they got a new daughter to replace their child prodigy. On paper, she's undergoing continuing medical care for an undisclosed illness, but in reality, she's been effectively disowned. Her younger sister's been given her place as the family's... There it is, heiress, there it is. Her beloved father, the only ally she had in the world, died before her eyes, and she was watching his corpse decay as well, while starving and dying slowly the whole time, immobile. It was a miracle she was even found, now I think about it, the way that she was supposed to be left there to die. It's a very sadistic way to let a young kid die. And then she was thrown out of her house as an unwanted child, huh? Pretty shitty luck all around. That said, I'm not about to let myself pity the girl. To be perfectly honest, this all sounds like a massive pain in the ass on a purely practical level. It'd probably be wisest not to get too deeply involved. I doubt that somehow we're going to get involved at some way or another. But running away at this point would be far too irresponsible. Misfortune isn't so unusual. I had my share. The world's got quite a few people who didn't grow up under pleasant circumstances in it. But I was lucky enough to eventually meet my master, a person who decisively changed my life for the better. Her help became a huge turning point for me. If someone were to ask me how I feel about my life, I can probably answer, I'm happy enough in all sincerity. Yeah. Staying alive is a good thing in itself. As long as you keep going, someday you'll find happiness. Someday you'll become useful to someone. The day will come when you earn someone's gratitude. That's why I'm still going. It was my master that gave me the strength of will to believe those things. And I think this is a great place to... Oh, wait. No, hold on, let's finish this bit here. I close my eyes, inhale deeply, and ask myself the crucial question once more. Can I really do something for Makina like my master did for me? There we go. It is like I thought with Yuusha. He saw what his master done for him in Makina to help save her. I looked at those documents in an attempt to understand the thing I wanted to protect. But I was also slightly uneasy and knowing the truth might complicate or weaken my determination. Unfounded worries I'm not going to give an inch. Not 1 inch. Maybe the real reason I looked over that dossier was to confirm my confidence in myself. Yeah, I think I've got to end this now. This is a great place to end it. Woo-wee. Wow. That was very plot heavy. Very plot heavy. But I'm not complaining. I enjoyed that. Oh, I enjoyed that. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh. But yeah. Makina's got some demons very similar to Yuji and has had a sister that was born to replace him. Sorry. That's just sad. That's just sad. Her own family just threw her away because of something that was outside of her control and even used her own daughter to out. Oh, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. That's icky. But anyway, I am all out of time for this part of the Fruit of Grisaia, so unfortunately I have to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you want any more from me. And I shall see you in the next video. So did ya, guys. I almost certainly. See you next time. Didn't get to ring this as much as I'd hoped today. That's a bit of a shame. Ah well.